from clarkwoods.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 213. I'm Chris, and Steve is making fun of me even before we get started. You can't see it, but you gotta trach my word for it.
Yep, you have to stab him in the neck with a straw.
We might have a title right there out of the gate.
Yeah.
Trach my name.
Trach my word for it.
You know, you would think for somebody who is theoretically a writer, I would be better at speeching the English language.
No, I mean you don't necessarily have to be able be a great speaker, an orator.
Yeah.
To be a good writer. I mean,
Yeah.
there's been plenty of people that are a stuttering, muttering mess, and
King George, Elizabeth's daddy.
Yeah, but
he was a stutterer.
Was he a great writer?
I get the impression that he was a man of intellect. That he got them through the goddamn war, right?
Was he a dedicated follower of fashion?
That I'm not sure about. Stephanie is my wife. Stephanie is watching The Crown, which I would love to be watching it with her, and I'm kind of watching it with her, but she doesn't wait for me. So I see every third or fourth episode.
Just like when John and I were trying to watch One Piece together, and we started off, and just because I had just. It was still like, remember back in the day, back ages and ages ago when you used to get these things in the mail from Netflix.
Compact discs.
No. It was a little bit more technologically advanced.
They were the digital video discs.
Yeah, you would get these digital video discs like this little packet.
Oh, like it was a little red sleeve
from Netflix, and you would watch it and then send it back to them in the mail.
Yeah,
and then at a certain point they started doing video streaming.
Yeah,
I remember. Then people stopped getting discs because it wasn't worth their time.
Yeah, getting discs is worth very few people's time. I mean, just like getting dicks is worth very few people's time. And
I like how you gave up that joke like halfway through it.
I'm getting better.
But you still said the rest of it.
I still said the rest of it. I committed, and I was like, I'm going to ride this one out.
You were so disappointed with yourself halfway through it.
I was like, this is bad. But I committed. I'm going through with it. You know, which is, that's what she said.
You on cocaine now?
A little bit. No, I was raking leaves this afternoon,
and you found some in a pile of leaves.
Well,
it was like I saw a video of a puppy jumping into a pile of leaves. Maybe
into a pile of cocaine.
Yes, he was the puppy version of Scarface.
Okay, puppy jumping into a pile of leaves. What was?
And so
was
maybe it was the same pile of leaves, and he left some cocaine there for you.
Okay, yeah. Well, that puppies are nice. They are. I think considerate. Well, dogs are, maybe not puppies. Dogs are considerate individuals. They want.
I say puppy, but it was a dog.
Okay, all right. So yeah, dog's a considerate individual. Dog doesn't want to take all the cocaine and wants to let his master have.
Dog doesn't want to.
Dog doesn't want to.
You sound like fucking. What are you talking about? Dog the bounty hunter.
He does want all the cocaine. Dog the bounty hunter. I bet he did
allegedly.
All of it. Allegedly. Yeah,
I don't know. Was he ever convicted of coke
I don't
possession?
know.
Let's just say allegedly, and so we can cover our asses.
Yes, we should cover our asses when there's cocaine on our asses and dog is going after them. I mean, the dog is going after the cocaine that's in our.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't make
asses.
sense for him to be a sort of cokehead because as a bounty hunter,
right?
I mean, being a drug addict or an illegal drug addict, I mean, wouldn't be the best choice.
No, probably not. No, I take your point.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I don't take your point if you take my point, but I take your point.
Okay.
So I was raking leaves, and there was no cocaine. It's just that I'm coming off of a cold, and then my allergies, and just I've been sniffling all afternoon.
Okay, so it's not necessarily. It's just you have allergies and you're still on Adderall, I imagine.
I am still on Adderall. Yeah, I haven't had coffee in a week and a half now, which is a little weird. I can't decide how I feel about that because it was.
Well, you weren't a big coffee guy before.
I never loved the taste of coffee, but it got to be such a habit that now I'm still wanting for a hot drink, and my choices because I don't love tea either, are hot cocoa or apple cider.
You can get a tea that isn't like tea flavored. You can get like a mint tea or like a lemon zinger.
But the same, if it has caffeine in it, it's the same problem, right? There's
like
the problem that
all those celestial seasonings teas, those are all caffeine free.
Oh, okay. I mean, so the real thing is should I be having caffeine? And I still have plenty of soda, so I guess I am having caffeine, but I don't know.
Stop having so much soda, and then also have a nice mint tea. It'll be refreshing, refreshing hot beverage.
Okay. I will take that under advisement. What the hell were we talking about before we got horribly off topic?
I don't know.
We started off me
Want
and
to pause it and listen to everything we just said?
No, it was me and the English language. I think that's what it was. It was something about me and the English language.
And you being a writer.
I remember. I have another book coming out.
What?
I have another book coming out.
Does this mean we have to buy another E. Christopher Clarke novel?
How am I supposed to answer that? I mean, yes.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
I was just listening to the audio of a marketing webinar that I missed this afternoon to rake leaves with my wife because I am a good husband.
We don't rake leaves. We just wait a really long time and then we hire some people at this point to rake our tiny yard.
She said to me the other day that if we inherit my parents' house at any point and she has to do the leaves by herself. This was a very not so subtle jab at me not helping her the other day. Then we were gonna have to sell the house, and I was like, no, just hire somebody. And that conversation stopped at that point yesterday or the day before, whenever it was. But then today, when she was about to go out and rake the leaves, I was like, well, there's this thing at 2:00 I was gonna, and she didn't say anything, but I could tell that I was not going to be doing this thing at 2:00. I was going to be raking the leaves.
Well,
I knew what was good for me.
You could have put headphones on, like the ones you're wearing, like a noise canceling kind of type.
Yeah, but
and rake the leaves and listen to it while you were raking. You could have multitask.
It was very coordinated attack on the leaves, I gotta say.
So you had to like constantly be in communication.
We were in communication. Yeah, it was
rake the leaves over there, sir, and you were like, okay, wife.
Well,
you're gonna have to hit the ones over there.
One of us was raking the leaves into a tarp, onto a tarp, and then the other one was dragging the tarp off into the woods where the leaves were gonna go. And so,
see, you're doing it the right way, because when you have like any sort of forested area near your house, just put the fucking leaves there.
Exactly. Yeah. So we were filling in holes. We were covering up parts of our path out to the bike trail, because we just imagine that part will get sort of compressed down by the snow over the winter, and
then it'll eventually, like once the leaves decompose, will turn into some sort of soil.
Right on. But so I was listening to this marketing thing on the way over here, because I didn't get to listen to it because I was raking the leaves. And in this marketing thing, they were talking about the steps of the marketing process in a fairly non-sleazy way, which was nice because I don't like sleazy marketing people.
I love sleazy marketing. Just give me all the responsibility for doing the sleazy marketing for your book.
Well, see,
like I'll go to Tower News and I'll be like,
you're gonna go into
this
the nudie
book
booth.
Is great to have while you're jerking off in a LOL sex booth.
So I'm imagining that the way that would work is that you'd just sort of be hanging around in the store part.
Yes,
right.
I would not go in the back.
Somebody would be go out into the back and
be like, "Hey, man," and I probably wouldn't get stabbed with either a dick or a fucking knife.
What I was gonna say is, you wait till somebody's gone into one of the booths to watch their videos, and then you knock on the door and you say, "Hey, I know that I'm interrupting your stroke time, but if you would just buy my buddy's book, I will leave you alone." And they're like,
or I could
fine.
just
how much does it cost? They slip a $10 bill under the door, and you grab the $10 bill.
I don't want a $10 bill that's been slipped under the door of a jizz-stained floor.
Well, they gotta slip it out to you somehow. Unless you get like a
This is
stripe.
like I retract my statement about helping you be sleazy because this is fucking gross.
Okay, so, but here's the problem with me and marketing and sleaziness, right? Is that just me saying to you that, yes, you have to buy my book feels sleazy to me.
Chris,
So,
I just
actually, you don't have to buy my book because Becky is a supporter of mine on Patreon, and so she gets a copy of the book.
But I want to
anyway.
buy one too, so we
All
have
right.
so many fucking copies of your books. Or maybe we could do what Leo did. Maybe we could ask for like
Get another copy and leave it in a foreign country.
Leave it in a foreign country, or like
should have thought of that before you went to Ireland.
B&B. Yeah, that would have been a good idea. But like the one that I have has an autograph to me, and the one that Becky has an autograph to her.
Yeah.
So I don't want to leave either of those because those mean something to us.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
So I gotta sign just a one that says, "Dear reader in a foreign country."
Dear Irish person, get fucked. Love, Chris. Hope you like the book, dickhead.
There's some low opinions of Irish people in this next book because it's set in 19th century Cape Cod, where Massachusetts and the country as a whole is still fairly Protestant, and so the Irish Catholics are looked down upon by some of the people in this next book.
Jeez, so so don't bring this next one to Ireland.
Yeah, don't bring this next one to Ireland. When
do you have a title? Is there a working title?
It's called The Seven Wives of Silver.
The Seven Wives of Silver.
Yes, it's got a nice ring to it.
So did he take 7 wives at this? Or is this spoilers?
He marries 7 people over the course of his life.
Okay, but not like concurrently.
Not at once. No.
Oh yeah, not all at once.
Well, I mean, maybe I shouldn't have spoiled that because maybe somebody's like, "Ooh, I want to read about his harem." No, it's not called a harem when you're Mormon. What is it called? Like the sister wives.
Sister wives of Silver.
The sister wives of Brasco County. The sister wives of Salt Lake City. So I got a new book coming out. It's on the 27th is when it's out. But you can go to clarkwoods.com and buy it, and it's for pre-sale. The electronic versions are on pre-sale on the various digital stores.
But you can go to clarkwoods.com. And
that's where you can buy the print copy right now.
Directly from the horse's mouth.
Yes.
Or the horse's print.
Directly from the horse's ass.
Print factory. Like how do you do that?
Well, that's how you print things these days, Steve. I don't know if you're aware, but you feed the words into the mouth of the horse, and then the horse we've genetically engineered the horse to shit out the book. So it goes into the horse's mouth and out the horse's ass, and there's your copy of the book.
Just really hope that what you wrote in that book was better than that statement you just made.
And see, one of the other parts of the marketing thing that I was listening to was talking about, maybe you should start a podcast to increase your funnel. And I'm like, well, I do have a podcast, but if people buy my book who have listened to my podcast, I think they buy my book in spite of the stuff that I say on the podcast,
okay,
as opposed to because of the stuff. They're like, he's an idiot on the show, but he can write all right.
Yeah, just like I'm super funny on the show, but I can't write for shit.
Well, who said that? Everybody can write.
I have written some things I've never any sort of creative writing I've done has been just kind of.
You were published in a magazine in college.
Yeah, but that was just a fucking gag. I was just being a goof, writing a stupid story on a typewriter to annoy my friends with the sound of clicking keys on a typewriter, not actually intending.
It was performance art.
Yes, it basically was. And then it ended up in a fucking literary magazine because I bought my way on. But I knew everybody that was on. Like I think I knew a majority of the people that were on the publishing committee or whatever. Okay. What do you
the editorial
editorial board?
Yeah.
There we go. I knew a bunch of people that were on there, Brian being one of them.
Right.
And but I think it stood up on its own ridiculous merit.
You read it once here on the show.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not.
Did we just post an image?
I think we just posted an image of it because it's like reading it takes
the
away from the actual art of it.
Got it. Okay.
Which is what I'm telling myself now. Saying that it's art, in fact, it's just fucking nonsense.
You know who is an editor?
You.
Mr. Stan Lee. Mr. Stan Lee was an editor.
I just got the word like when I was because I was actually I never talk about this like on the show until like a week or two after.
Yeah.
But I just started a new job. I'm not saying where. I'm not saying what I'm doing.
Congratulations.
But I was very busy training today, and
Right.
so I didn't get a chance to like poke onto social media like at any given point today. So like I saw that poor Stan Lee, 95.
95, yeah. I didn't hear about it until I came in from raking, and I actually was really good today. I did not pick up my phone at all until we came in from raking. So like 3:30 or so, I pick up my phone, and there is an alert from the Washington Post saying that Stan Lee died, which was not what I was hoping to see when I first picked up my phone. Because I mean, the guy is responsible for a lot of the stuff that made me want to be a writer. He together with Jack Kirby or with Joe Simon, or people forget about his collaborators, and that's, I mean, we're all sad about him today.
Yes.
The comic book nerds will all probably too soon be talking about how Stan Lee wasn't anything without his collaborators. So I just
you did that.
I'm just gonna say Joe Simon, Jack Kirby. There's somebody else who Steve Ditko. Those are like the major guys. So Steve Ditko and Stan Lee did Spider-Man. Jack Kirby and Stan Lee did I think that's the Fantastic Four. Joe Simon and Stan Lee did Captain America back in the 40s. So. That said, I mean, the guy was pretty remarkable. I mean, I don't know. Everything that I've wanted to be as a writer starts with Stan Lee. I mean, just today, before I realized he had died, I published these 3 things to my website about the nature, these completely dorky articles about the nature of reality and time travel in my fictional universe that I don't expect anybody to read, but they were fun for me to write. And I write those sorts of things because like Stan Lee and his idea of a shared universe of, you know, where Spider-Man shows up in the Fantastic Four and vice versa.
Have you ever read Vonnegut at all?
Yes. Okay. Not as much Vonnegut as I would like, but Slaughterhouse-Five is one of my favorite books.
Okay, I was gonna say because he does that sort of that time travel-y, like sort of, but then speaking like having a protagonist that like is in the story but isn't involved with the story.
Yeah, I need to get up to. I've read Slaughterhouse-Five multiple times, and then I've started all sorts of other ones because my mother-in-law's current husband. Remember, my mother-in-law's current husband had a lot of Vonnegut around the house when Stephanie and I first started dating, and even in the years since. So there would be Vonnegut around, and I would pick it up, and I'd go, "Oh, that was awesome!" But then I kept forgetting to go out and buy more.
I mean, I'm not much of a reader, but I have read more than one Vonnegut novel. In fact, I think at least 3, maybe 4.
Hey,
which is impressive for someone who is not a purported reader.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. Well, anyway, I wanted to say something about Stan Lee, and I
just got us horribly off topic. Talking about Vonnegut,
and I want to wrap up on Vonnegut because I want to get to your honeymoon, happier things, and we got to get to your honeymoon.
But like
because
Stan Lee, I mean, like as much as it's a bummer that he passed away,
he's
like
95.
He was 95 years old. It was very expected.
Right.
We like every time he made a cameo, in a new Marvel movie, I would be like, shit. That's awesome. He's still around, and so
I'm pretty sure he'd shot a few more. The last time he shot,
he was definitely in Venom, which is
I didn't see that one
that I saw recently.
Okay. But he'd shot a few for the Marvel Studios proper. I'm pretty sure, and he shot them all on like one day. Was my impression of how they were doing them lately was that they'd just get him on set. They'd have him do a bunch of jokes.
Hi, I'm Stan Lee, and this is me on a bus. I'm a bus driver. I'm a bus driver today.
Yeah. Well, did you see Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yes. Was he a bus driver in that one?
No, he wasn't a bus driver, but his cameo in that one has got to be one of my favorites because he is standing there
Standing.
He's standing there beside his car, and I think it's one of Wasp's shrinking discs goes astray, and his car, which is a normal sized car, shrinks into nothingness, and he says something to the effect of, the 60s were a lot of fun, but I'm paying for it now. And it's just perfectly delivered. It's perfectly timed in terms of where it's cut in the movie. I watched the outtakes, and the outtakes are not funny at all. It's just an old man like
saying silly things,
saying silly things. But it's just a testament to the fact that he, if you get the right silly thing out of him, and then you have a talented director and film editor, they will put it in, and it will be a laugh moment every fucking time.
Yeah.
So,
hi, I'm Stan Lee. I'm going to say a bunch of stuff, and one of these things is going to be funny.
Well, and the thing is, so yeah, it had been expected. He had been getting the word on the street was he had been getting taken advantage of by, I don't know if it was one of his kids or like somebody who was like a hanger on to one of his kids, and they'd taken over his social media accounts and basically like stuffed the poor old man over in a corner. And within the last year or so, he was not rescued, but kind of gotten out from under the hold of these people who it sounded like were kind of abusive to him. Mm-hmm. And so that was nice. It was like, well, it would have sucked if he died while kind of being
under that cloud of shittiness.
Cloud. Yeah. And so he got out from under that cloud. He had a nice, good, like 6 to 9 months since that all cleared up of being good old Stan Lee on social media again. And now he's gone. And it makes me really sad, but he's 95.
Yes.
Like you say.
Yeah. So to wrap it up with one word that he liked to say, you already said it once. Let's say it again. Excelsior.
So at any rate, I don't have anything else to talk about this week. So I think we should get like right back into part 2 of Steve and Becky's honeymoon adventure.
She, as promised, well, she didn't actually promise. I
promised for her.
I just hoped that she
Yeah.
that she would do this because I didn't want to be like, what is the name of that place that I can't remember?
Yeah. So what do we ended on day 2 of last time, or day 3?
We might have gotten to day 3. Yeah.
Okay.
So we where the fuck were we after that? Okay. Oh yeah. That's when we were with the puppy, with Bella.
That's right, the puppy. I remember the puppy.
And so we left there, and we went to Kenmare, which was we kind of just. She says drove through, so I don't think we
didn't do anything in Kenmare.
I don't think we did anything in Kenmare.
Yeah.
And then we went to Mall's Gap. Which she,
but my mind is in the gutter.
Yes, we went to
Mall's Gap,
which was a big pussy, and Becky wrote down big pussy, and it was pretty.
Mall's big.
No, she only wrote pretty. She didn't write anything about it being a giant pussy.
Well, Mall's Gap, just because it's a big pussy doesn't mean that it can't be a pretty pussy.
Yeah, it could be a giant pretty pussy.
Giant pretty. Mall is the name of one of the characters in Disney's The Descendants, played by it's not Sabrina Carpenter, played by one of those people from the Disney shows.
What's Disney's The Descendants?
The Descendants is it's a show about the children of all of your famous fairy tale villains going to high school with the children of all of your famous fairy tale heroes and heroines.
I'm trying to think of what they did that with. What was that one that was on MTV with like they cloned Clone High.
Clone High.
Yeah, it was they cloned like historical figures and then they were all teenagers going to the same high school.
I never saw this. Was it good? The concept sounds good.
Like it was like JFK and Abraham Lincoln and Cleopatra. I can't remember who else was there, but there was other people.
Yeah.
It was sometime in the late 90s, I believe.
No, you did not go to Cleopatra's Gap.
No, we went to Mall's Gap.
Cleopatra's Gap, that'd be in Macedonia? That'd be in Egypt?
I don't know. Let me check the freaking... What the hell's that? Rosetta Stone.
No, I think you mean the Blarney Stone. That's the one you pee on.
No, it's supposed to be the one you kiss.
All right, sorry.
It's allegedly one
that you pee on.
That locals or local yokel locals, locals or youths, rebellious youths maybe would piss on it. So they're like, all these fuckers are tasting our piss,
tasting our Irish piss.
Yes.
Whenever
I go to the bathroom, I yell into the toilet, "Taste my American piss."
It sounds like you're being facetious. I mean, I do that. You don't do that?
Yeah.
Mall's Gap was pretty.
Yes, it was pretty.
I'm sorry for getting us horribly off topic.
And then we went on there was a trilogy of things we did after that. This was on the road.
Okay.
So we this was in a sort of it wasn't sort of, it was a national park kind of area.
Okay.
So there was a lot of little places to turn off in this general vicinity.
Yeah.
Where we could check out something and then drive a little bit up the road, and there was another thing that we could check out. So the first thing we went to was the Torc waterfall. So TORC waterfall.
Okay.
And it was just it was a very short hike. We didn't have to go very far, and then it was this pretty little waterfall that of course we took some selfies in front of and took some pictures. There was it was just one of those places in Ireland that was just well, most of it was remarkably green, but this place in particular was very green, and it was there was these really old trees that were just covered in moss that were just it was Marimo paradise.
Marimo?
Yeah.
It's me, Marimo. Sure. Do you think so you remarked on how Ireland is so green. Do you think that in
how green was it?
I don't know, Steve. How green was it?
It was just
no. In the future depicted in the Pixar film Wall-E, do you believe that maybe Ireland is still the one green place on Earth, or do you feel like the corporation fucked up even Ireland?
Is this? I've only seen Wall-E once.
Oh, okay.
So is this a giant corporation that caused everybody to get into big old fat chairs?
The By and Large company, B&L, which is a company that's depicted in various Pixar movies, is it's kind. I don't know if it's right, straight out said, or just intimated that the By and Large company is responsible for all of the pollution that sends everybody off into space and leaves poor Wall-E to clean it all up.
Yeah.
But I mean, the impression that we get is that that's the impression that I get.
Never happened, knock on wood. I'm glad I haven't yet.
Did he get pregnant in that? Did he get somebody pregnant in that song?
No. It was a song about AIDS.
About AIDS. He never had to knock on wood.
The 97, that was peak AIDS.
Was 97 peak AIDS?
I think it was peak AIDS awareness.
Peak AIDS awareness, maybe. I mean, but I think peak AIDS.
Peak AIDS awareness for the 90s.
Right. Okay, yeah, because because of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Yeah, they singing that song that people like. Did you know it was about AIDS?
Does it joke about AIDS?
No, I said, did you know it was about AIDS?
I did know it was about. I knew it was about either AIDS or getting pregnant.
Yeah, it was both.
He had to knock on. He never had to knock on wood.
But I'm glad I haven't yet.
Yeah,
because I assume it isn't good.
Did he have a whiskey drink and a lager drink too?
That was Chumbawamba.
Oh, okay. Those guys were anarchists, right?
I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they were from Ireland.
Oh, don't. I think they were though. Don't cry for me, next door neighbor.
I gotta look up now if Chumbawamba was Irish, but U2 is Irish.
No shit.
And then not the Cranberries. Oh, maybe the Cranberries.
Yeah, the Cranberries.
Cranberries are Irish. No, but that's not who I was thinking of. There was the lady whose band did the duet with Bono on their Unplugged. The Corrs, they're Irish.
The Coors?
The Coors. There's a lady the lady lead singer did a duet with Bono, and it was a big hit back there around 97, 98, 99.
And then there's the
somewhere.
Pogues. Those.
I believe they are very Irish,
Yes.
the Pogues. Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to the waterfall.
We went to the waterfall. Peter Tork's waterfall.
Yes, he was wearing the fucking the green knit cap, or the waterfall had a green knit cap. The waterfall had a green knit cap, and he invented like Post-its or something.
No, I think that was. I think you're thinking of.
Oh no, that was Mike Nesmith.
Mike Nesmith's mommy.
No,
Had
Peter
something to do
Tork wore the other hat.
Yeah. Chumbawamba was a British pop rock band.
Oh, British, sorry.
That formed in 1982. So they originated in Burnley, Lancashire. Lancashire. Yeah. So no.
It's underbaked.
Yeah. I mean, unless there were some Irish folk in there, but I think they were British. Is what the Wikipedia says.
A drink a whiskey drink, a drink a vodka drink. And
You
when
get
I
a
want to
vodka.
pee, I use the kitchen sink, which is from The Simpsons of around that time.
Around that time. Yeah.
All right, so then from the Torque waterfall, we went to the Muckross house, which was just a fancy pants mansion.
Okay.
We kind of tooled around there. It was a nice sunny day, and there was this little puppy.
Oh,
Like,
another
that was-
another dog.
Yeah, and he was really small, he couldn't have been more than like 8 or 9 weeks old.
Oh,
He was
like
just a
itty-bitty.
little guy.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little bit old. Maybe it was 2 months. Or maybe
But
that's 8 weeks. Fuck.
Yeah, but an
Maybe it
itty-bitty.
was like 3-4 months old.
Okay.
But like he was just so little, and he was just walking by, and then like Becky was like,
She ate him?
No.
That sounded like she's just like,
Yeah,
you're so cute. I'm gonna eat you.
she becomes one of the xenomorphs that just eats puppies. They're so cute, she has to eat them.
Yeah, I mean, how else do you keep them with you all the time? You know.
No.
I don't. No. So was the puppy like a stray walking
No,
along?
it was just this woman was with, like, it was her puppy, and the puppy was just not on a leash or anything.
Yeah.
He was just following her around. He was like, doot, doot, doot,
Because
doot.
Irish puppies have manners.
And then he like,
need
when he
leashes.
passed by Becky, he just rolled over, and he was like, here's my belly. And she's like, I need to pat you.
Do you think dogs know? Like, can they smell on you that you're somebody who might rub their belly? Are they
I think
like they do a little?
I think they
Just wanna
say
rub my
that the
belly.
dogs can sense if you're tense or anything like
Yeah.
that. So they might be like, they might
Bees and dogs can smell fear.
also, they might also feel that tension, and it might affect them as well.
Right.
But if someone is like excited and happy to
Yeah.
see them or whatever, they might also like empath that sort of those sort of feelings. I think the reason why humans and canines have been such fast friends over the years is because of that sort of bond.
Yeah. I don't understand people who like cats better than dogs.
I
I'm
mean,
just gonna come right out and say it. Like, it's just, a cat is a little lion living in your house. That
is this a bit?
No, but like it is. It's a little lion that's living in your house that would like to eat you and kill you if it could, but it can't. So it kind of relies on you for some stuff and makes you do stuff for it. And a dog is like it's your friend, it's your pal, it's your buddy.
It's the thing. I think the difference
Cats are
in
assholes.
personality, like for personality types for people that like dogs as versus cats. I think a person that likes a dog is a person that
Is a good person.
No, that is a person that may want more affection, and so a dog will most likely grant them that affection.
Got it.
But a person that is more fond of cats is someone that just wants a companion that is nearby, but isn't necessarily going to be hounding them for attention.
Yeah, I see what you hounding. I see what you did there. I think there isn't actually anybody who really actually likes cats. I think they like cats. They buy a cat and they're like, "Wow, that was dumb. I just willingly brought an asshole into
Sometimes
into my
you
house."
can get a cat that is just like, I always want to be around you, and sometimes you get a cat that never wants to be around anybody. Like and sometimes you get a shithead dog, and sometimes you get a shithead fucking snapping turtle, like Leo has.
I did not know he had a shithead snapping turtle.
Yes, his name is Cell, or her name is Cell, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forget what the gender of his
of the snapping
named
turtle.
after the character from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
And
but the
that thing
turtle's
is like,
a shithead.
I remember it being in our dorm room back in college, and he still has that fucking thing.
Well,
like,
turtles live forever.
Yeah, and what are we, like 13 years later?
Oh wow, holy shit!
And I finished college later than I should have.
I'm sorry. You were saying.
No, it's fine. We were at the Muckross house.
Yeah, the Muckross house.
We
With the puppy.
With the puppy, and Becky
Yeah.
got to pet him, and then we were walking around, and then there was these people like that were like, "Hey, do you want to take the ride with this horse around?" And we're like, "Fuck you, no! I don't smell this horse ass while we're getting rode around."
Do people like horses? Do you like horses?
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
like I got a
I'm
picture
kinda
of a
scared
tiny
of-
horse.
I'm kind of scared of
Like
horses.
a tiny horse, I'm like not scared of.
Yeah.
Because they're less likely to do
Yeah.
serious damage to you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, tiny horse, tiny house, tiny dog, tiny. I don't know. Tiny stuff. Yes. It's less intimidating.
Sure.
But I don't just generally horses. I don't know. I on that show that Stephanie's watching, the Crown, they had apparently the royal family is into horses, and there was a scene of one of their horses fucking another horse, like and all of them.
It was like that beginning
watching.
of Freddy Got Fingered, which I have to reiterate is a movie that if you haven't seen recently, you should revisit.
I've never seen it at all.
You should see Freddy Got Fingered. Watch it with the kids. It's a real good one.
And there's horse fucking in it.
Right? Well, not horse fucking, but there's a scene right at the beginning of the movie where Tom Green jerks off a horse.
Oh. On like this is part of his job, or it's just
he's driving down the street. He screams at the top of his lungs because he sees a hard horse dick. He fucking fishtails like into the other
He's
lane.
just trying to help a brother out,
and then climbs over the fence and just starts jerking a horse off
because he feels bad for it.
No,
just because it's a hard horse dick.
I forget what he was screaming while he was doing it. He was like, "Look at me! I'm jerking off the horsey! Oh, I am a farmer!" or something like that. Very, very, very highbrow stuff.
But you guys didn't ride the horse, or you didn't do anything.
We didn't do any
horses.
sort of horse shenanigans.
Yeah.
Although, I think did Becky pet a horse at some point?
Yeah.
I think she might
petting a
have.
horse is one thing. It's getting on top of the horse that I feel it. Like I feel like I might be able to pet a horse if
we weren't going to be riding the horse. We would have been in a carriage behind the horse.
Oh. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, I don't want to watch a horse shit while I'm just tooling along, getting a little transpo on.
I don't know. I mean, horses. I think it ties into my feelings about animals and the domestication of animals in general. Like the fact that we use horses to make them do work for us.
Yeah, and also make them into glue.
Glue is working for us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we use these creatures. I can't. I don't know.
Do you think Elmer? I don't think Elmer's glue uses a horse anymore.
It's got it doesn't have like a bull on it.
Yeah, maybe they use bull in it.
Yeah,
instead.
Maybe that's their secret.
Yeah, it's the secret ingredient.
Sorry. So you went to you didn't do the horse.
No, but then we went to Ross Castle and we took the tour. We were going to take the tour of the Muckross house and not take the tour of Ross Castle, but like the timing of it, we got to Muckross house like right when they like were closing. Like I think the people in front of us were the last people that were able to go into the tour. And so we didn't go on the tour there because the next one wasn't for like an hour or two or something something ridiculous, or it was the next day. I wasn't sure.
Right.
So we ended up going to the tour of the Ross Castle, which I thought it was pretty cool. So I mean, we tooled around there, and it had this big spiral staircase, and it was they're basically showing because this place had been like a major point in several battles and several like times in history.
Okay.
So they're just showing how this like it wasn't necessarily a fort. Well, it was kind of a fortress,
Yeah.
but but the inner workings of the castle, like how it was fortified, and like how there was all these like different ways of defending it. There was like different parts where like there was just tiny slits in the wall, and they were all pointing in towards this entryway.
Yeah.
So like, you know, every archer that was in the building could just be like zeroed in on whoever comes through. If they can get through that fucking door, you're getting littered with arrows. So
Right.
And
that sounds neat. I never, which this is gonna sound stupid, but I never think about castles as as a place where I could learn about military history, which is obviously
it'd be a perfect place to
live.
live.
Yeah. That's
so yeah,
odd.
and they had so like the center of the castle, it was a spiral staircase, but it was in reverse because a majority of people are right-handed. And so if you are going to be attacking someone with a sword,
right,
and you're going to be climbing up the spiral staircase, you're going to be climbing up this way,
right,
and you're going to have to be attacking with your left hand. Or if your favored hand is the right hand, you're going the opposite way. And so the right-handed people that were defending,
they have the advantage.
They have the advantage going up the stairs and just striking down.
Our ancestors were clever motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Wow. That's if we were clever like they were, we would win more. I don't know. I don't know.
We don't need to battle in castles anymore.
No, we just need to battle inside a very white house on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Hey, we recorded before the midterms. And,
we did, yeah.
And things went relatively well.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I agree.
There's still some craziness going on
for sure
in Florida because, you know, they're a bunch of
it's fucking Florida. It's the nutsack of America.
Yeah.
The castle stuff is really neat. The only castles that I've been to are not really castle. Like I've been to the castle in the clouds, which is not really a castle.
It's a mansion.
It's a mansion. And I've been to Hammond Castle, it's a mansion built out of castle parts.
Oh, is that what John Hammond built after he like created Jurassic Park?
I spared no expense.
Yes.
You did a thing. I did a thing. Woo! I remembered a thing at the right moment. Ross Castle.
Okay. Yeah, so we were at Ross Castle. I mean, it had like this sort of very the general living quarters didn't seem enormous.
Yeah,
and I don't think there was a whole heck of a lot of people that lived in that particular part of the castle. I mean, there was probably like the family, and then like there was the retainers that had lodgings elsewhere,
right?
But they were there for defense, and in different places in the castle and outside of the castle. I'm assuming, and they had a sort of small living area with a fireplace, and then we went up a little bit further, and that was where like the most places or most rooms in that place did not have like huge windows. They had very small windows, and so there wasn't a heck of a lot of light getting into these rooms, because they were constantly in battling, so you don't want to have like windows open. What a nice day.
It makes you wonder like what kinds of castles. When Disney is making a movie, or when the fairy tales are talking about the princess and the castle and whatever, at least our more recent illustrations or depictions of these things make them seem so grand and whatever. But like an actual castle seems like it's good for, I don't know, maybe eventually they were less about defense and more about ornamentation. But I don't know.
Once we got to a point where like the military was I think once the firearm was created, I think
right,
that's when like war changed. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like.
But we weren't building castles by that point, right?
Yeah, I know. So therefore, they became like historical artifacts. So
Yeah.
and folks in whatever countries like that cared about that kind of
Yeah.
shit, like fought tooth and nail to make sure that those places still existed.
Right. But like, I'm thinking like when they try to show us fucking Cinderella, right? Or that we don't even really see that much of that castle. So let's look at like Beauty and the Beast, right? So we look at Beauty and the Beast, and the Beast has a castle, right? But what the fuck was that? When was that castle built, and what was it used for? I'm sure it wasn't used in medieval times. It's more like a fucking mansion. So when did castles go from being castles to being a name for a particular kind of mansion? I don't know. Somebody who knows history could write us an email to hot@clarkwords.com and explain it all to me.
Hoard at Clarkwood's.
Hoard it, Clarkwords.
It's actually hot at clarkwoods.com.
I got a little bit of a nose tickle. I'm sorry. So I keep getting us, hardly off topic.
I mean, after we went to Ross Castle, this is when we arrived in Dingle, and I don't know if I have enough time
to talk about Dingle.
to talk about all the things we did in Dingle.
Oh, well, there's like 15 minutes. So I don't know. Should we do we need to pause there and then Dingle becomes part of part 3?
I think Dingle is part 3 because I do not want to give short shrift
to Dingle.
To Dingle, which was
or their berries.
My favorite part, a majority of my favorite part of the trip was in
Dingle.
Yeah, we had a lot. I think. Well, I personally had a lot of good. I think Becky did too. Yeah, so I don't want to rush in 15 minutes
to get through Dingle.
The fun of Dingle, and I'm actually I got the Dingle pages open. I'm gonna put this as a bookmark in the book.
So what is that? Did we get through basically one day? One more day?
Yeah.
Hey, if you think we're just milking, no, I mean we're milk.
We talked about other shit besides the fucking like. If we hadn't talked about other shit, and I'm not, this isn't a bad thing. We like what we do on the show is talk about shit.
Yeah. We horse shit, your shit, my shit, dog shit. Did any of the puppies poop?
Not while I was around.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, toilet, take my American shit. That's what I said. Every toilet I shit in Ireland.
You were like, take my American shit.
Yeah.
There's an episode.
And the toilets talk back and they say, thank you.
You got to say it in an Irish
accent. Oh, thank you. That was more Scottish.
It was more Scottish. There's an episode of I'm probably missing it right now because Stephanie probably is watching it. I don't know what it's somewhere in season 2 of The Crown. Speaking of Americans, we get a visit from JFK and Jackie to Great Britain.
Oh wow! So this is in the 60s.
Yeah. So it starts. The premise of the series is kind of neat. So they're gonna do. I think it's gonna be 6 seasons total. The first 2 I might be wrong about that, but essentially the first 2 seasons are gonna star one cast of people as the youngest versions, basically from when Elizabeth is just about to take the crown from her father when he dies to
stuttery guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to end because I haven't watched season 1 and 2. But then in seasons 3 and 4, or at least season 3, they're jumping ahead and using an older actress, and that's going to at least get us into Charles. And they've cast Camilla Parker Bowles. So I don't know if it gets us all the way into the 80s or just the 70s or what the heck it does. And then I guess eventually it will get to an even older actress playing her for the last part of her life.
I see. I don't know enough about the like everybody's. This is something that like I've never an obsession I've never understood is like the obsession with the British royals.
I think it's. Well, I might even be able to tie this into a really great tweet I saw today.
Was it about Stanley?
It was about Stanley.
Okay. Good.
But so my friend Andy Hicks had this great. Let me see if I can round this all together. I think the obsession with the British royal family and with royal families in general comes from well, they're royalty, right? We don't have any royalty here.
Oh, come on, Chris. Look at the people in the White House. They have gold toilets.
We don't have royalty in America in the same way that we don't have our own, as Andy put it, our own unified mythology. And so let me try to get to that tweet if I can.
Is it a really long tweet?
No, it's
Did you favorite it at least?
I did favorite it, so I just need to, and I think I retweeted it. There we go.
There we go.
So I think we're interested in royals because we don't have any, right? And in a great extent, I think probably for a very long time we were interested in.
I think it's mostly everybody is obsessed with the Lord wanting to be royal.
But you'll never be royals.
Oh. You can call me Queen Bee.
Or we'll never be royals.
We'll never be royals.
Now we can call you Queen Bee. Andy's tweet was somehow I was in my brain. There's a connection here, and I can't quite make it. But I really enjoyed this tweet. I think it's right on the spot. This is Andy Hicks.
It hits the spot. Maybe
it hits the spot.
You're gonna give him
he's at Dystopia Andy on the Twitter. He was in a band with me once upon a time, and
was it Soma?
Yes.
I picked the right one.
And he has done a lot of work. I don't know if he's still there for GBH. He's a producer, content producer for GBH. Smart fella is what I'm trying to say.
You're a dame and I'm a fella.
Andy wrote, the U.S. was born in the Age of Enlightenment and is made up of folks from everywhere. We'd heard of science and we still told tales of the old country. That's why we don't have dragons or fairy folk here. We lack a one-size-fits-all national mythos. Instead, we have superheroes. This was, his way of saying rest in peace, Stan Lee. Oh. And I think it's a really good point, which is, we are this smelting pot.
Smelting pot?
Yeah, let's go with it. We're a smelting pot.
Yes.
We make drills, smeltings,
or swords.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of smeltings, which is
probably
Vernon Dursley's firm that makes drills.
Oh well, if
the shoe fits.
I mean, probably firearms. I mean,
we probably do. Yeah. But I don't know. So you don't understand the obsession with the royals.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't get it.
I don't understand the obsession with Doctor Who. I mean, so I don't understand the obsession with most British things, but
I like the Great British Baking Show.
Yeah,
just because it's a cooking show. I mean, I've talked about this before. It's a cooking show where it's not cutthroat. I don't like a cutthroat competition.
Okay.
I like that's the thing that always annoyed me about any sort of reality television. Survivor or it was just I came here we watched the Cupcake Wars and we have a bingo card of every episode. Every single person says we came here to win, and then when the guy says there's 45 minutes left, someone will inevitably say 45 minutes, oh my god, we need to hurry, and then it's not that. That's what it's just it's typically nice people. Sometimes there's one person that you just don't like just because they have a weird face or something like that.
I think the royal family thing also comes to this. They have such weird rules for how they. I mean, and of course, the royal family is mostly powerless. Parliament makes the real laws there, but the ways in which their rulers get chosen and is so odd to us who live in a sort of constitutional democracy, right? So it's fun to just even look and go, all right, so what's the sorry, I'm making all these noises today. What is the who's the seventh in line and who's the eighth in line, and why are they the eighth in line, and why did this guy who when he was born was the seventh in line is now the 30th in line or whatever?
Well, because a male child was born on
but now as of 2013 or whenever the current third in line, the cute little boy, was born. Before he was born, the queen changed the rules, and so now any kids born after that, it doesn't matter if they're male or female, whoever, it's just who's born first. So now because they didn't know if that kid was going to be a boy or a girl, so they changed the rule just for that kid, and it turned out to be a boy anyway. But they didn't change the rule back once they realized he was a boy. Now it's the rule.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it's very progressive. Thank you.
But
thank you, Queenie.
But there's a CGP Grey video about how you become the British monarch, and like it's hilarious because there's like these 3 or 4 rules, including don't be Catholic and don't be a bastard. Like, and we watched this as a family the other night, and it's funny because now, like, my kids understand what a bastard is, and I think
bastard. I think bastard. I have made so many Simpsons references today.
But here's just to bring it all back to the happiness of the midterms.
Oh yeah,
I went on because I was interested in. I've been watching probably the day after I watched that clip with my family about the British line of succession. I was like, hey, wait a minute. What's our, not line of succession, but what, I guess it's a line of succession even. What's the line here for president, right? Because there's still that part of me that hopes this idiot's out and then his vice president's out, and then I'm like, how many more people do we need to be out? And once January comes, we just need to get rid of the 2 of them.
Just the 2, because
it goes to Speaker of the House
before the Senate.
Before the Senate.
Speaker
of the fucking House. Now,
which would be Nancy Pelosi.
Well, we don't know. But that actually made me even more interested in who are they going to elect to be Speaker of the House, because that part of me that's fantasizing is like, okay, that could be our next president.
That's why let's fucking
make it not Nancy Pelosi.
Let's make it a more progressive person than
Nancy
fucking
Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi, please.
Yeah. Oh, and of course I remember watching the let's just hope that our, I don't know. Are you a registered Democrat or you're an independent?
I'm undeclared.
Undeclared. I'm undeclared as well. But the Democrats are the closest thing to something I could say is my party, right? So I'm just hoping that the people in my party get smarter in the next couple of months as we decide who the hell is going to run for president. Because I thought it was a really good point made during the midterm coverage that the next morning was when the 2020 presidential campaign began.
Right.
And I don't want Hillary. I don't want Bernie.
Bernie. As much as I love Joe Biden, like he's old too.
Yeah, I don't really want Joe. If it had to be one of the 3 of them, I'd go with Joe. But I kind of would rather it be somebody new who can just get people excited.
I like Beto O'Rourke.
He lost, but let's run.
I mean, he lost in Texas by razor thin margins.
Yes, I know, and that's the thing is that people were getting so. This is why I was happy about it the next day, is because I really looked at it and I was like, that guy lost by razor-thin margins in Texas, and because he did what he did, we got not tons, but we got House seats out of that because people went out and they voted for Beto, and they also voted
for the Democratic
person who was their House candidate, and so there were House pickups in fucking Texas because of this guy. So yes, I mean,
and he's a young guy.
He's a young guy. He is a white dude.
But
it seems like the party wants a straight white dude before it wants another woman or
baby steps, Chris. Let's get this fucking asshole out first,
okay,
and then maybe we can talk.
All right.
I'd love. Don't get me wrong. Progressive woman of color, progressive
trans woman of color.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Don't be that asshole. But there's a lot of people that are fucking, dinks.
Sorry, progressive trans woman, queer trans woman.
Yes,
of color.
The whole fucking shebang. I'm all for it. But just.
Hey, you know what, Steve?
We kid sometimes, but we really wish that guy would just freaking go away.
I really do. Kaylee brought me. I had a moment, and it went past. But Kaylee brought me this video of him, of the current occupant of the White House, where clips of him had been auto-tuned to sing the lyric from Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You," and Kaylee thought this was really funny, and I was like, Kaylee, I hate this guy. It makes me sick to my stomach to see him. Please don't make me watch. She got really mad at me because she thought it was funny, and
the thing is, like,
and it is funny.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was like, and I didn't know how to be nice to my 12-year-old at that moment. I was just like, I can't watch this, Kaylee. Please make it go away. And she walked away and slammed her door. But we were good by the time I left to come here. So
well, that's good. I'm glad. But just don't do that to your daughter. Just like watch the shitty video, or watch the video with the shitty person on it. That's funny. And just it's so. What I've learned, and this is why I think our show has done okay since, in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Because we don't spend a whole heck of a lot of time talking about him. What we need to make sure we do, and what the media needs to do, and I mean, obviously the media listens to this show every week.
I think it's a primary source.
What they need to do is when he says something that is factually untrue.
Yes.
Don't report it.
Don't report it at all, or report it with okay.
Let Fox News do all that, and then just if he is saying blatant lies, don't report it. Do not report it if if it's not substantiated fact. I mean, that's like one of the tenets of journalism, right? Yeah. You're supposed to vet things before you broadcast them.
Right.
We should go back to that fucking shit.
Okay.
That's what I feel.
I all right. I like it. Good suggestion.
Broadcast or print or whatever. You have to make sure that this shit is right before you put it out there. Yeah. And if this idiot just constantly just spews shit, and then it just to fucking make another news cycle, just fucking stop feeding him. Like, it's the exact same thing with trolls, fucking on the internet. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed that fucking prick.
Because then he won't shit anymore.
Yeah.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/213. And if you'd like to contribute to our discussion points for a future show, if you'd like to ask us questions, tell us what we got wrong, you can send those messages to hot@clarkwoods.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great program this evening, Chris.
I
don't think we said anything crazy, so you don't have to edit anything out.
No, I mean, I don't think so. And I look forward to hearing about the berries of Dingle next week.
Going to Dingle, and don't make the Dingleberry joke next week, please.
Really? I can't at all?
No.
Shit.